Have you ever had a vivid dream? A dream that made you wake up in a cold sweat. A dream that was so real, you nearly accepted it as reality. Well, I guess you might understand what I'm about to tell you a bit better. You see, I don't know if I'm inside a dream or not anymore. It all started one night. What month was it? What year was it? Whatever, that's not important. I locked the doors, turned out the lights, and lay down in bed just like I always do. Nothing was different. There was no man-shaped shadow in the corner of my room, or a feeling of being watched by some grotesque monster. I just felt tired, and I went to sleep. But the dream I had... My God, the dream I had scarred me for life. I woke up, and I was lying face down on the street. I began walking through the streets of a major city. Everything was on fire. There were corpses all over the place. The buildings were in pieces. The cars were nothing but scrap metal. I heard distant screams of people, crying out for help. I wandered through the streets. Broken glass and burnt corpses beneath my feet. I kept walking through the wreckage of the city. Everything was destroyed. I cried. I felt like the city was once a great place, but now it's nothing more than a burning heap of metal and wood. I wish I could stop hearing the screaming, but I can't. There's nowhere I can go where I can't hear it. It haunts my ears. I laid there in the street, choking from the smoke and crying. I couldn't find the strength to get up. I also realized that a metal bar from one of the buildings had pinned me down. I tried my hardest to move it, but it was too heavy. I laid there, screaming for help. I tried my hardest to be louder than the other screams of agony and pain. That's when I remember blacking out. I've never had that happen to me in a dream before. I didn't think it was possible. But I guess it was, because I woke up with the metal bar, pinning my legs to the ground. The smoke disappeared, but the fire still burned intensely. There were fewer cries of pain, but there were still some. Most were probably dead by now. I heard sirens blaring in the distance. I tried to get their attention, but it was no use. They were too far away to hear me. Ashes were falling out of the sky like snowflakes. The sky was red, like it too had been set ablaze. If it were a dream, someone must have been breaking my legs in consciousness because the pain was unbearable. I also began to get hot that moment. I felt like I was in a furnace. Finally, I passed out from the pain. This time, when I came to, I thought I had woken up, but I was not in my bed. I was in an ambulance hooked to an IV. I could hear the paramedics talking, but not exactly what they had said. It sounded as if they were underwater. Their voices were muffled. Before I knew it, I had fallen unconscious again. This time I knew I woke up. But I couldn't open my eyes. I was literally in blinding pain. I began to ponder if this was all reality, or just some vivid nightmare. Had something destroyed the city I lived in? Or had someone broken into my house, stolen my possessions, burned it down, and left me to die? Either way, I was in serious pain, and that was all I could think of. I needed relief. I couldn't speak, so I did the only thing I could do, I moaned in pain. I couldn't even utter the word help anymore. I could only hope that I was in a hospital and that someone would give me some medicine to take away the pain. I didn't really care if this was a dream or reality anymore. I needed help. I began screaming at the top of my lungs, trying to get anyone's attention. I heard people around me screaming just as loud. It was as if they were in the same room as me. But there's no possible way I could have known that. I remember the sounds dulling, but I could still hear them. I had screamed so much that I had torn my vocal cords. All I was able to do was utter a mere squeak. I don't remember what happened after that. I blacked out again. When I woke up for the last time, I heard a voice say,
"Don't move. Sir, you're blind in both eyes. But count your blessings. It's a wonder you haven't been killed."
The voice said. I uttered a whisper. What do you mean? This is just a dream, nothing more, I said.
No, I'm afraid not. You survived an atomic bombing.
The voice said. I'm not sure how, but I regained my voice. I what? No, that's not possible. I just had a bad dream, and I was interrupted.
No, you survived the atomic bombings by the Allied forces in Hiroshima 3 days ago. You're lucky to be alive.
I couldn't believe it. I began to sob uncontrollably. Then, where am I now? I shouted, tears in my now blinded eyes.
Nagasaki Hospital. It's May 6th and...
That's all I heard before a massive